Oh no. Oh no. Oh, it's tough, man. Times like these, they're tough for the Montreal Canadiens and their fans. Because now, right now, the Montreal Canadiens playoff odds have dipped. Because the Philadelphia Flyers just got shut out in their final home game of the year. 3-0 to the Columbus Blue Jackets in front of a hometown crowd that, quite frankly, I feel they deserve better than that. Now, if we head over to moneypuck.com, because the Columbus Blue Jackets won this game in regulation, their playoff odds have jumped up 9.5%. 16.5 total percentage odds for the Blue Jackets to make the playoffs with the Flyers' victory today. And now, Montreal. Oh boy, Montreal, it's not looking all too great here. Earlier this morning, Montreal had a 93% chance odds to make the playoffs. CBJ had a 7% chance odds. Now that CBJ is at 16.5%, Montreal's total playoff odds are, 83.5? Montreal's playoff odds dipped 10% with the Columbus victory today. And now, there is a very real opportunity for Columbus to make the playoffs and for Montreal to lose. Percentages be damned. 100%, 95%, 85%, who cares? This is the verdict here. The Montreal Canadiens are playing off against the Carolina Hurricanes tomorrow. If they lose in regulation, it opens the door for Columbus to squeak in there and overtake the last wild card spot. Both of these teams have one game left. Columbus can match Montreal's 89 points with a win if they defeat the New York Islanders on Thursday. And they need to do it in regulation because the first tiebreaker is regulation wins. Montreal and Columbus are tied in regulation wins here. So if Montreal loses to Carolina tomorrow in regulation, and Columbus beats New York, the Islanders, on Thursday in regulation too, then Montreal would stay at 89 points, the Blue Jackets would jump up to 89, tie the Montreal Canadiens, and then overtake them via regulation win tiebreaker, and thus squeak into the playoffs. 93%, 85%, who cares? If the Montreal Canadiens lose in regulation tomorrow to Carolina, then they're done. Okay, not done. Maybe their odds dip down to literally 50-50, depending on the result of that Islanders and Columbus game, finishing in a Columbus regulation victory. But this is not looking good. The Montreal Canadiens have lost so many games in a row. They're starting to falter a little bit. They're starting to stumble at the end here. They lost to Chicago in an embarrassing fashion after blowing a 2-goal lead in Ivan Demidov's debut with multiple points. And now, Philadelphia could not help out Montreal in this one. You know, we made the video earlier this morning talking about how Rod Brind'Amour is helping out Montreal because they are calling up guys and they're sitting a lot of their veteran guys for tomorrow's game. That's great. Montreal, Carolina tomorrow, the Hurricanes don't care about tomorrow's matchup. They're trying to rest their guys. They want to see these players get better. They're going to play Shane Goss to spare. They're going to play Kotkaniemi because those guys are coming back from injury. They need to get their feet back under them. But you know who else is going to be playing for the Carolina Hurricanes later tomorrow? Probably Skylar Brind'Amour and Bradley Nadeau, Dominic Vansori, Riley Stillman, all potential options for Carolina tomorrow. I'll tell you this, Montreal, if Riley Stillman ends up playing an NHL game on the last game of the season for Carolina, the Canadiens have a very easy opportunity to win tomorrow's game. Riley Stillman sucks. And I am usually not as blunt in talking about players and whether or not they're good or bad or whatever in that way. I'm usually just don't come out strictly and say, yeah, no, he's trash. But Riley Stillman, when it comes down to Riley Stillman, man, this is literally one of the worst players I have ever seen suit up for the Vancouver Canucks in that 22-23 season 2 years ago. He was so bad. Terrible. Gobsmackingly gumball terrible. And that guy on defense was forced to be a lot more important than he otherwise would have been due to some injuries to Vancouver Canucks D-men. Stillman sucked, dude. He was so bad. And if that guy is a Carolina Hurricane in the roster tomorrow against Montreal, then the Habs better find a way to win. Get a point. Send the game to overtime. You can lose if it goes to overtime. You'll get 90 points and you'll be out of reach from Columbus. But Skylar Brindamore could make his NHL debut. Dominic Fensori, I love Dominic Fensori. He's a great young prospect. He's like in that same Quinn Hughes, Lena Hudson type of mold. I've always been a fan of Fensori. But please, smoke that guy tomorrow. Montreal, find a way to victory here. If the Habs end up losing to a much more depleted Carolina Hurricanes team, then maybe they don't even deserve to make the gosh darn Stanley Cup playoffs. You ever thought about that? Like, if the Habs are not able to confidently take at least a point against Carolina tomorrow, what does that say about the fight of this team? Tomorrow's game, Game 82, the most meaningful game of the year, they can clinch the playoff spot. They could have clinched 2 games ago. But the Habs have faltered, stumbled down a little bit here. I'm starting to really feel more and more like if the Canadiens do make the playoffs, I don't think anybody's really expecting them to go far, right? We had spoken about this earlier in today's video, but the team has been on a bit of a cold streak lately. They were winning a bunch of games right before like 4 games ago. They went on a heater to absolutely take control of the wild card. And then in all these games where they had the chance to seal the deal for themselves, they were not able to take it in and do it. Now they're relying on Philadelphia, now they're relying on the New York Islanders to shut Columbus down. But ultimately, hey, Columbus with another victory here, just moving heaven and earth to try to get things done. Big shout out over the Jett Greaves. Yeah, that's the guy that we made the video about the other day, talking about his crazy explosion of NHL talent. That guy played another game today, and he got another shutout today. Oh my gosh, the Flyers can't buy a goal with Jett Greaves in net. Nobody can. Jett Greaves has 2 shutouts in the last 5 days. Like, look at these shutout numbers, and look at these regular save numbers where he doesn't get the shutouts. 967 save percentage, 951 save percentage. He was first star of the week last week, and now he's taking over, and he's got one more game against a goal-scoring deprived New York Islanders team on Thursday. Thursday could very well be the day that we learn who makes the playoffs and who doesn't if the Canadiens blow it tomorrow against Carolina. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this alarming, terrifying, even more frustrating Canadiens news. Let me know in the comments all your opinions about Jett Greaves and the Columbus Blue Jackets shutting out Philadelphia and bringing themselves within 2 points and a potential regulation win to get into that final wildcard spot. Do you think the Canadiens will make the playoffs? Do you think Columbus will make the playoffs? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.